Hey everybody, how you doing tonight? One of those days today. I can just tell. I'm taking the time to make this video because I want to call out Brian Tyler Cohen, what a fucking liar he is. He posted a video today, July 5th, 2025, between 8 and 8:30. YouTube says it's an hour ago. I will put a link in the video description once I get everything uploaded and tweaked. It says, the title is Breaking, Republicans See the Announcement They've Dreaded. And he goes on to talk about Elon Musk announcing that he had a vote about creating a new political party called the American Party, or America Party. And he announces through a tweet, or whatever the hell you call those fucking things now, excretions, that 2/3 of the votes are in and the American people want a new party. Great. So Brian's talking about it, blah, blah. I'm with him until he gets to the part, and Trump responded, and he posts one of Trump's Truth Social diarrhea spillages from June 30th, 2025. And it was the truth, I guess that's what they're called, truths, about why Elon got mad is because, and Trump says, because he took away Elon's subsidies. And he said this was Trump's direct response to Elon creating the third party. Well, the vote to create the third party didn't occur until days after Trump posted this diatribe that's been all over the internet. And I'm sitting there going, and right then and there, I got pissed because this has been a habit for Brian Tyler Cohen. He's talking about, the progressive media eco stream, we're the only ones telling you the truth. No, you're not. You're just misleading everybody, just like Trump does. You're as big a liar as Elon Musk and Donald Trump. No two ways about it. Sorry for the mess in the background, by the way. I am remodeling my house, and as you can see, the door frame, the molding's missing at the moment because I haven't put it up yet. Because all the molding's getting replaced. Anyways, back on track. So there's this whole thing from Trump, and he's selling it to his viewers that Trump responded with this. And I know Trump posted this on June 30th, and the only thing I can give Brian credit for is he put the whole date, June 30th, 2025 at 9:44 p.m. in there. He didn't cut it off because people still could have called him out on his bullshit. But the simple fact is he starts telling you, oh my God, Trump responded. So what are you waiting for? You're waiting to read a Trump tweet / truth, whatever the fuck they are, that Trump is pissed at Elon and now he's probably going to deport him or something. That's what I was expecting to see. And then when I saw this, I was fucking pissed. Right? Now, I followed Brian Tyler Cohen for a while, and I unsubscribed from him because this isn't the first time he's done shit like this. And I called him out on another. I just didn't make a video about it. I literally called him out in the comment section. I went ballistic. I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? This is not anything that happened. I said, and you made a video the other day where you said this, and this. And I said, now I'm getting sick and tired. And I literally said back then, I said, you're turning into Fox News, dude. Like, what the fuck? That's not what we need right now. Or at least, well, I have my own feelings of what America needs right now. And trust me, nobody's going to agree with me, but that's neither here nor there. But if this is the kind of shit that progressive media is going to put out, we don't fucking need them either. Okay? The left needs somebody that's operating on the same kind of wavelength as Trump, but for the left. This is why I don't like Senator Elizabeth Warren. Every time she comes out and she has to explain herself and it has to get long-winded and she sounds whiny, right? That's why nobody's going to listen to her. She sounds whiny. She looks like a Karen, sounds like a Karen, and yeah, I call her Pocahontas too because, this woman's got less than 1/12% of Native American in there, and that's even questionable on those results, and suddenly, oh, I've got Native American blood. And I'm like, you don't even have a Native American hair on your fucking head. It's like, really? Is this what we've resorted to now? These are the people we keep re-electing into office? Like, are you telling me that nobody has the balls to stand up to these cocksuckers? Hey. Sorry. Figure my cat gets up there and just decides, hey, I want to play a game of Pac-Man. Apologies for that. Anyways, getting back to what I was saying. I mean, is this really what we have? Is this what... This is all we've got. See, this is what the left needs. They need a version of Trump, and spare me, get with me on this here for a minute. Not that lies, but that actually triggers the same thing Trump triggered in his base. Because his base have always felt underrepresented, felt left out, like nobody was listening to them. They are angry as fuck. And here comes some fucking crusty old white man that's just saying all the things they want to hear. Fuck the immigrants. Fuck this. Fuck that. You know what? We're going to grab people by the fucking balls and twist them and yank them off. We're going to punch them in the face. Because that's exactly what those people were feeling. That's what they wanted. And that's what they saw in Trump. And that's why he won in 2016. I do not believe Trump won 2024 as much as he did. I really don't buy it. And especially because a county in the state I live in Pennsylvania, that, yes, it's a red county, but to have 0 votes for a Democrat, 0, has never happened in the history of any Pennsylvania election. Kamala Harris got 0 votes. The other representatives running on the left that did challenge seats in that area got 0 votes. 0? No, not happening. So something's rotten in the state of Pennsylvania. And it just ain't the fucking broke Trumpers that live up in the Wyoming Valley area and are sprinkled from west of Harrisburg all the way to the fucking Ohio-Pennsylvania state line. You could cut that part of Pennsylvania off and call it Western Pennsylvania, and I'd be completely fine with it. Just keep the east side of it, us Eagles fans and, the people who actually fucking believe in America. Anyways, the left needs somebody. They don't need whiny Elizabeth Warren, right? And AOC, God love her because she really does fight for the working guy. I mean, I met her. Would I vote for her for president? No, absolutely not. And I'll tell you why. She's too preachy, and she'd probably make a good vice president. She needs to be under a president that knows how to be presidential to an extent and can shape her. I'm not saying that turn her into a corporate whore, because if she did that, I'd completely lose all respect for her. But you need somebody like her that the little guy can relate to. This is kind of why I liked Bernie Sanders in 2016. I didn't want Hillary Clinton. She came with too much baggage. I knew she wasn't going to win because, people hated her. They loved her husband. They hated her because she looks like a fucking Karen that just would come in and starts all kinds of freaking problems. And she just has a face you want to punch. I'm sorry, Hillary, but you do. You got so used to being this overzealous feminist woman, and you just bullied your way around to the point you annoyed the fuck out of the left. And I've been somebody who has voted Democrat since the year I could vote, which was 1989. That's the year I turned 18. And I turned 18 the summer before our first elections, and I lived in New York State at the time. No, I lived here in Pennsylvania. I did live in New York State up until 1989, but I couldn't remember if I turned 18 up there or it was after I moved to Pennsylvania. But I know that the first election I voted in was in Pennsylvania. Anyways, I have always been on the left. And then I got introduced to Bernie Sanders. Now, Bernie's another one. Gets over expletive. No, so, sorry, wrong words. He over explains everything. And he has the right voice, the right approach. He feels like he's trying to be direct. But then the problem is he gets down into the same weeds with the same words that just kind of, they go in one ear and out the other. Because that's what they do. People have heard the same bullshit from him for so long, it just sounds like a record that's broken and skips and just keeps going back to the same thing. You need to find another way to frame this, Bernie. Stop talking about it. You got to start sending out, stuff to people and present it in a way that, look, yes, I'm a politician, but I also care about you very much, because that's the one thing I do believe Bernie Sanders cares about: the American working class. I'm glad he doesn't give a fuck about the rich. I don't give a fuck about the rich because I'm not rich. I do okay. But none of Trump's tax policies benefit me in any way, shape, or form. In fact, because of this new bill, my taxes are going up an additional 2.5%, putting me back in my original tax bracket. So, Bernie needs to put together some kind of thing that you just mail to everybody. Now, some people don't like the political stuff. Or, the left needs to come up with this kind of package, keeping it simple, and explaining it in simplified terms, because not everybody's a fucking college graduate, and not everybody can read or comprehend at even a 9th grade level. So, you want to get people on your side, you need to find what that one thing is that relates to them, right? I am a big supporter of the Second Amendment, even as a lefty, okay? As long as I have a right to own a gun, I am going to own a gun. There is no two ways about it, and I'm especially going to own one now because Trump is in power, and I am completely terrified of what the fucking police are going to do, because I live in a red county in Pennsylvania, and trust me, they were already off the hook. Now they're fucking basically immune, because they know he ain't going to say shit about it, that the DOJ isn't going to go after him. So they are even more predatory than they already were. So, I get pulled over. I'm like hands 10 and 2 on the steering wheel, every window rolled down in the car, and I just say, yes, sir, no, sir. But if they do step outside of the constitutional boundaries, I do note to them that, hey, under Terry v. Ohio, this is your limitations here, 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 and here. And I said, so I do not have to comply with an unlawful request. I'm like, you've already issued me the ticket or the warning. I'm like, at this point, you have to let me go. You cannot extend this stop. I said, if you do, you're in violation of my constitutional rights. And I said, just like Donald Trump, I'm fucking litigious. And believe me, I'm not above filing a lawsuit on my own against the police and saying, hey, Terry v. Ohio, man, he was done the minute he handed me the ticket. Anything after that, he's detaining me longer than he needs to detain me. But we need somebody on the left that can talk in the same direct fashion that I'm talking to you. I don't care if they curse. I don't care if they call Melania a cunt. I really, really don't. I wish somebody would come and sit there, not like, oh, Trump's not really looking out for you. And I'm talking to you, Kamala. He's not looking out for you. No, you need somebody that's going to be just as nasty as he is, but doing it for the true benefit of the working man. The problem is the working man doesn't see the Democrat or the left as supporting them anymore. And the Democrats were big working class people in the 90s. That's how fucking Clinton got into power. And then suddenly, after, I don't know what the fuck happened. I don't know if it was Barack Obama or what the fuck. Something changed. It's like the whole party seemed to leave the left behind, but at the same time they're going off to go after the right to get them to pay more taxes and everything, but nothing's coming to fruition, nothing's getting done, and they're just getting steamrolled in every possible way. And they're just like, well, fuck it, you're alienating me. So they started to get angry. And then Trump came in, you know, an outsider, and, you know, oh, I'm going to do this for you. And that's how he grabbed the fucking dumbasses, you know. And that's saying a lot because kind of it cleared our party of the dumbasses. But the problem is now is we got a bunch of pompous, over college educated idiots trying to sit there and act like they understand the plight of somebody that makes under $60,000 a year, and they fucking don't. They have no idea, right? I understand that plight because when I got up in my career, I started with a job. I mean, my first real good paying show up to work, you know, 9 to 5 type of thing. When I got out of school, and I was making $26,000 a year, and in 1994, that was a lot of good money, you know, for 94. Not so much today, but 24,000 back then was a starter job. Shit, you're doing all right. You're making over $10 an hour. So now I'm in the, you know, $150,000 to $250,000 a year income range, right? So, but I spent so many years under 100K. I didn't have my first $100,000 a year salary until 2012. Right? It took me that long to get up there, and it's not because I wasn't trying to get up there. It's just that, you know, I don't know how to shut up, right? So if I'm at the job and somebody's trying to tell me that something's going to be this way, and I happen to work in regulated industries, so there are a set of federal regulations. Every business that's under federal regulation, they have to follow it. If they don't, they can get into serious shit. Well, guess what? You sign your name on something saying it does this when it doesn't, and the FDA or the, you know, the Department of Transportation, or what's it called, the NTSB or whatever, they find out, dude, you can get blacklisted, right? So the FDA finds out I signed something that I know to be wrong, I can be blacklisted from ever working in the life sciences industries. The same thing, like if I knew there was a problem with a part that led to a recall or injuries, and I signed off that it was okay and hit it, I can be criminally charged. Same thing on the FDA side. I could be criminally charged and blacklisted from ever working in the automotive / transportation industry. And that covers a lot more ground. So you've got cars, motorcycles, airplanes, helicopters, you know, and aerospace is included in that because it's a form of transportation. But we need somebody that's basically talking to you the same way I'm talking to you. It's time to start getting tougher and stop this, oh my God. If you model yourself off the way that Elizabeth Warren approaches things, fuck it, don't even bother. Right? You need to come in there. Like, I swear to God, if I could run for president of the United States and have a debate with Trump, I would make him cry, because you think he's cruel to people? Oh, I grew up, you know, just outside of New York City. I was born just outside of New York City. So until I moved to Syracuse, which wasn't until 1983 or so, like, I grew up around people that are just like, they didn't give a fuck what they said to you. We just don't care. And to this day, I'm 53, and I still don't care who I offend. You know what? You don't like it? Suck it up, Buttercup, because you're an adult, and if you get your panties in a twist over something that bad, that it's going to ruin your whole fucking day, then you know what? I don't want to deal with you. I want somebody that's actually can understand that, A, something might be a joke, and I'm just doing a little hearty ribbing. And I said, or if you've done something that stupid and I got to point it out in such a way that I have to say, well, you know, I tried to explain it to you at the 30,000 foot level, but then I realized you're fucking retarded, that I had to bring it down to the goddamn tarmac, bring the ground crew out to help educate you on this, which means I had to over fucking explain it. Right? And that's the kind of shit that the left needs to start doing. You need to start calling the morons, but you need to start talking to the working class in such a way that's going to get them wanting to be with you. And right now, this, you know, look, I get everybody's a human, blah, blah, blah. If you choose to change your sexuality, that's on you. I don't really give a fuck. Okay? But don't get mad at me if I'm single and I do not want to date you because you used to be a man and you transitioned to a woman. I don't feel comfortable with that. And I'm going to tell you, I'm not going to be rude about it, but I'm just going to say, yeah, it's kind of just not my thing, but I wish you luck. If you keep persisting or you try to shame me for it, I'm really going to put you in your place. And you're not going to fucking like it. You know, I can be so cruel that I will send you home and you will want to contemplate suicide. Okay? Because I don't give a fuck about your feelings. I really don't. The only thing I care about is myself, my kids, and that is it. Those are the things that are on my priority list. My 9-year-old son that's sitting in the other room right now blasting whatever video game he's watching, and I'm about to yell at him for it. 1 second. Okay, sorry about that. Now that I got things quieted down a bit, and now my cats are going in and out. Apologize. If we don't start approaching things with a tougher attitude, this country's going to be fucked. Because America has always been about strength. And right now, the left doesn't look strong. You know, like that picture of Joaquin Jeffries. I don't know if it's AI, but I saw a picture with him crying on the floor after the bill passed, or that's when it was supposed to be done. And I'm sitting there going, that is not a position of strength. That is a position of weakness. 100% weakness. That's all it is. And I'm sitting there going, you know, if that bill would have passed, I would have went right on the floor and called everybody cowards and hypocrites. Don't sit there and say you're for the working man when you just gave billionaires trillions of dollars in tax savings. Don't you dare preach to the American people. And I would have used the F word. I would have called them fucking posers. And I would have made my team call every media interview, and I would have made a playlist of all the times they said, oh, I'm here for you and here for you, and then I would show how they voted. Here's their voting record on this. Here's the section that they misrepresented to you. That's the shit that needs to be happening now, and not make it long-winded, unfortunately, which my video is becoming, and I apologize for that. But you can tell I'm pissed off, and when I get on a fucking tangent, man, I just don't let it go. So anyways, back to the original point of this. Brian Tyler Cohen is a fucking liar. Okay? He's a fucking poser. He's a hypocrite. And I'm done with his ass. And everybody else should be done with his ass. Because if this is the shit he pulls constantly, and I guarantee you if I wanted to sit here and go through every one of his videos and take the shit that he says and find out how he misrepresented it, I would have a video that would probably be longer than most Hollywood blockbusters. Not even kidding you, right? And this was the final straw for me, because I've called him out times before in the comments section. Oh, you don't want to listen? Fine. Now we're going to make a video about it. Will the video blow up? Will he see it? I don't know. I hope he does. And Brian, if you do see this, go fuck yourself. You're an asshole. And you know what? You're a fucking disgrace. And you shouldn't even be considered a Democrat. You shouldn't be considered a lefty or a progressive of any kind. You're fucking no better than Donald Trump, you cocksucker.